The most important question surrounding Ram's latest foray into high-powered pickup trucks with goofy names is, what were the meetings like that led to this point? One can imagine people throwing out ideas like Brontosaurus or Wildebeest and being shot down for being too vegetarian or too weird. But coming from a company that named their last range-topping truck the Tyrannosaurus Rex, Rhinoceros doesn't seem all that wacky. I, for one, hope that whoever bravely suggested naming the new 1500 Rhino got a raise. It's not like they don't have good company in this argument with Ford and their dinosaur-themed line of Baja racers. And while it may be fun to debate the finer points of corny vehicle names, there is no debating the fact that the 2025 Ram 1500 RHO is a spectacular pickup truck. Before we dive into the details of this hurricane-powered brute, would you kindly click the subscribe button below? Everyone here at the Empty Garage thanks you. It should be noted that there is a lack of clarity on what those three letters actually mean. Some say Ram High Output, others point to a shortened version of Rhino, the big mammal that runs around with a unicorn tusk on its nose. Considering the sweet center console badge on these trucks has a rhinoceros incorporated, we like to think it's the animal. Which brings up the next logical question. If a rhinoceros and a velociraptor met in a bar, who would win the brawl? Hard saying. But what's clear is that the Ram is packing a far more potent motor up front than what Ford currently stuffs in its Raptor, at least in base form. For the 2025 Ram 1500 RHO, that motor is the HO SST variant of the amazing new Hurricane lineup. HO for high output and SST for straight 6 turbo. Strapped with a pair of turbochargers, this 3-liter inline 6 boasts 540 horsepower and 521 pound-feet of torque. That's what happens when air is rammed down your gullet at 28 psi. That translates to a strong 90 horsepower advantage over the Raptor, which is clearly the vehicle Ram has set the Rhino's sights on. In their awkwardly acted launch video, Commander Kaniskus wants you to know that his new flagship desert racer is the most value-oriented of the factory-prepped Baja trophy trucks on the market. In fact, Ram goes so far as to spell out how much each horsepower costs in the RHO, $129.60 to be exact. You know the world has gone crazy when Dodge is pitching customers on how much value there is in a pickup truck that starts at $70,000. But compared to the $80,000 F-150 Raptor, that 70 grand suddenly seems pretty reasonable. Where do I sign? Money aside, the high-output Hurricane powering the incoming Ram Rhino is an amazing showcase of modern automotive engineering. Some highlights. The closed-deck aluminum block features a structural aluminum alloy oil pan. Cross-bolted steel main bearing caps keep the forged steel crank and connecting rods contained. The cylinder bores are coated in vaporized steel alloy that melts at 4,150 degrees to create an ultra-thin, low-friction surface. Inside, forged aluminum pistons race up and down that surface with oil jet cooling and a diamond-like coating on the pins. A pair of low-inertia, high-flow turbos push the air in, and a true dual exhaust system that runs front to back spits out what's left. The Ram RHO has an exclusive version of the system that features 5-inch black painted outlets. The point of the story is, this new flagship hot rod pickup from Ram is sure to be completely outrageous, even with a 6-cylinder engine. But what about those staunch defenders of the V8? Those that say without one, the RHO isn't a real pickup truck. These folks may be feeling a bit abandoned by Ram's decision to drop the mighty TRX from the lineup with its boosted V8 making an obscene amount of horsepower. Well, fear not. If you watch the RHO launch video closely, there is a pair of Mad Max-styled dirt bikes performing sweet jumps and joining the convoy of hard-charging Ram off-roaders. One of those bicycles has a 540 number plate mounted in homage of the Ram RHO's horsepower, but the other bike is blank. According to Ram bigwigs, this is something of an Easter egg pointing to a future, even more potent Ram 1500. Will it have a Hemi? No, but will it offer TRX levels of juice and possibly resurrect that 3-letter name? Very possibly. The Ram powertrain wizards have already cooked up a 663-horse plug-in hybridized Ram Charger that looks quite impressive. Suddenly, the 702 horses in the T-Rex doesn't seem so crazy. Hopefully it'll bring the Elephant name to bear. Not only is it funny, Elephants and rhinoceroses seem like they go together, but that's all future speculation. Let's get back on track with what we know about the Ram RHO that is due to arrive later this year. The beefy Hurricane motor hooks up with an 8-speed automatic to send power all the way around, and a Borg-Warner full-time transfer case is on hand for active low-range fun. The Dana 60 rear axle sports full floating axle shafts, and the locking rear diff is set up for high-speed use. Because with 540 horsepower comes velocity that shouldn't be possible for a vehicle of this dimension, as in a claimed 4.6-second sprint to 60 onto a 13.1 quarter mile at 105 miles an hour and a top speed of 118 miles per hour. These days those metrics sound ordinary, and yes, the TRX is faster. But when you think about a 3-ton pickup truck with nearly 1 foot of ground clearance riding on 35-inch balloons, those figures are suddenly a bit more sobering. Of course, with all this power comes an appropriately fancy suspension system. From Bilstein, the Blackhawk E2 adaptive dampers sound badass, and back that up with specs like nitrogen-charged remote reservoirs and precision-machined single-piece aluminum construction. Dual electronic proportional valves continually adjust damping force, and the guts of these tubes feature 3-stage progressive jounce control. The better to avoid brutal bottoming out, my dear. Other suspension tidbits include high-strength forged aluminum front control arms and new hard points versus the standard Ram 1500. Moving those points was necessary to jack up the suspension travel, which measures 13 inches up front and 14 inches out back. Good thing those 18-inch wheels are beadlock capable. Naturally, a 540 horsepower rhinoceros must look the part, and as you can see, Ram is up to the task. The unique front end sports special Ram badging, fancy new headlights that can dance through an animation sequence, skid plates, and a steel bumper. And how about that hood? Scooped, louvered, and blistered to wild effect, it shouts with a big RHO decal and the coveted HOSST badge. Moving around to the side, you can't miss the bulging composite fenders that add 6 inches to the track of this truck. Tack on the optional full-length rock rails, and the king of the hammers will whimper upon your arrival. The RHO cabin isn't too shabby either. Leather and suede have been liberally applied, and if you opt for the unoriginally named RHO Equipment Group package, the front buckets are heated, ventilated, and massage-ready. Other fanciness in this bundle includes a head-up display, a gigantic 14.5-inch central television screen, and a 19-speaker audio system from Harman Kardon. For you screenophiles, that big central display is part of a touted 50 inches plus of digital real estate. There's the fully digital gauge cluster, the aforementioned head-up display, the central screen, a 10-inch screen on the passenger side dashboard, and a digital rearview mirror. Currently, you cannot watch TV on the side mirrors, but give it time. If anyone actually towed something with their trophy truck, another excitingly named feature, trailer reverse steering control, is akin to Ford's dial-based trailer steering feature, and the tow rating of about 8,400 pounds is respectable. Oh yeah, the Ram RHO can drive itself too with the optional hands-free active driving assist, a level 2+ hands-off-the-wheel bit of tech. But more importantly, why doesn't Ram have the folks responsible for naming these epic trucks working on the name game for their tech? If it were the other way around, the incoming Ram High Output, and/or Rhino, would be the 2025 Ram pickup truck with a lot of horsepower. We're thankful that's not the case, and equally thankful that the Ram RHO even exists. Reservations for Jumping Dunes at your local quarry are currently open.